What's up, guys? Getting ready for this devotionals today. I'm ready. Acts chapter 9. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. Verse 1. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest. That's that. So he was already in the action of it. He was still breathing things out. Like he was still threatenings. Like he didn't stop. Like with his words were powerful because he had authority physically. And because he had authority physically, obviously the disciples weren't scared, but he was still breathing out threatenings and saying this is what they're going to do if they don't stop. How many times are we told to stop what we're doing? How many times are we told not to go out there and not to step out in faith? How many times do we go out there and to not follow and to not lead and to not encourage and to not speak, right? So, verse 2. And desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogues. So he went to the high priest and desired of him letters. So he went to the top official. He's like, look, I need letters from you so I can bring it to Damascus and so they could put it in their synagogues because these people are going against what we believe. And so it says that if he found any of this way, which is the way, all the disciples, all the people who feared God in this specific time, they were known as the way. That's what it was known as. So whether they were men or women, didn't matter. Whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound into Jerusalem because they both, men and women, both had purpose. Didn't matter. If you were a guy, you were a girl, and you were preaching Jesus, you're gonna get threatened. It don't matter who you are, no matter what you're doing. If you're preaching Jesus and you're living out that lifestyle, that's what's going to happen. But I found it very interesting because as I was meditating on it, it just spoke to me. Paul wrote letters from the true high priest to encourage the way. But before he was desiring letters from a high priest physically that was still bound because he was under the law, he desired letters to bring to the synagogues to discourage the way. But now he's out there bringing and encouraging others who are in the way, who are walking in the steps of Jesus, who are taking on that courage, that same boldness, that same authority. Now he's encouraged us. He's already done it, right? Because obviously we read Corinthians, we read Romans, right? We read through all these books that he's wrote, like Timothy, like we read through them all and we're encouraged, right? But before he was doing it to discourage it, but now it's doing it to encourage it, to now encourage what he was originally going against. We live lifestyles that were going against what we now preach. But that's where it's at though. Like what we were once doing, now we speak and we testify about it. And now we speak and we encourage people about it. And now we love people through the process. Because the disciples didn't say anything to them. They just spoke the word of truth. That's it. And I think it's very funny on how now, because of the lifestyle we once lived, now we're out there preaching, bringing the good news, out there encouraging, discipling, teaching, praying for people. Because of the lifestyle we once lived, now we're doing the opposite. Now we're loving on people. Now we're guiding people, helping them on the way. Like as they're in the way, as they're in Christ Jesus, we're out there encouraging them. And I think that's very crucial because right now, in this time, that's where it's needed the most. Like this is where we step up. This is where we go. This is what we do. And so it doesn't matter what you were doing, because as he was on the way to do it, that's when Christ reached him. That's when the Lord, even Jesus, spoke to him, and a bright light came round about of heaven, and it spoke to him, and Jesus called him in that moment, right? When Jesus called him, he was in the process of doing what he was doing. So no matter what anyone is still doing, whether they're in the process of doing it, whether they've already finished it, whether they've already done it, Christ can still reach them. But because whether no matter what we're doing, we're not bringing Jesus, of the one who we first preached against. They don't know our backstories, but don't forget, the backstory has a lot of purpose. And so when we step out there, it's because we're leaders and we're called to be different, and we're onto the way, something that we used to discourage. So don't get discouraged out there. You know where you came from, and you know what you now do. You do know. We all know it. We all know what we do. We preach Jesus. We love on people. We reach souls. We do life with people. That's what we do. And so today, I want you guys to be encouraged that this is what we do. This is what we all do. This is what we're a part of. We're a part of this. We go out there and we bring the gospel. Before, it wasn't like that. But today, it is. And so, you really got to continue to live that lifestyle of bringing Jesus into everything and to exalting him in everything. And so, I love you guys. And I pray that this spoke to you. And don't forget, no matter what it was, we still bring Jesus. Come on, guys. I love you guys. I pray this devotional blesses with you guys. And I'm pretty sure it blessed you guys because it's only 6 minutes and 29 seconds right now. So I love you guys. God bless you guys.